fellas. Look, we back, man, for the last week of the regular season. Left Columbia with a win versus Arkansas 28-21. Much needed in what was like some type of snow bowl. It looked like I couldn't imagine playing in those conditions, man. Off top, before we even start, I want to say congratulations to my dog, Jeremy, man. Uh, became a father for the third time. There we go. Young son. Congrats, man, to you and the Dia, man. Much
Appreciate it,
love to
man.
y'all.
Yes,
Appreciate it.
indeed.
Uh, So I'll start with you. You're a new dad, man. Pop it up. How'd you like to see what you see from us versus Arkansas in that win?
Man, I think that the cool thing is, we've talked so much about Brady this year, right, and what he's brought to the table, and what we were missing when he wasn't able to play and/or wasn't 100%.
Yeah.
So to see him in his last final play at Faroe Field, 30-yard touchdown,
Hmm.
uh, kind of sealed the game for us. So I think that was a really, really cool thing for him. And honestly, it gets everybody to understand how much we appreciate him.
Yeah.
Um, so it's always a good thing to get a rival win, to get a rival win at home. And under those conditions, I don't think anybody saw that snow coming.
Give me a
Um,
break. Yeah.
yeah, and then gets an Arkansas team, man. That's tough. Like Spoon was saying, the other week, that's not going to be a cakewalk.
No.
No rival game ever is a cakewalk, but you know, they believe that they can play with us. So for us to get that win was big. For us to get to 9 wins throughout the regular
Hmm.
season was big. For us to have a chance to get to 10 wins after the bowl game is big. So um, yeah, did we miss out on the ultimate goal? Yeah. Um, but I think there's still some positives to be taken from this season. And honestly, it's gonna sound crazy. We won 9 games, and we never for 1 second looked in sync on offense this year. So I think that goes to
Great
show
point.
you, yeah, that like if we get it, if like I think we're
Yeah.
gonna be in big shape. But clearly, and we'll get to that later. You lose Luther, you lose Brady, you lose Theo, you lose a lot of these other guys. So
Hmm.
how are we gonna replace them? That's the big question. But um,
Hmm.
great win, though. Great win. Great win.
Spoon, what do you think about the win, man? What do you from a defensive standpoint? What'd you see?
Man, I was excited we were able to go out there and get the win. That's one of those games, that weather like that, that I consider that to be a great football weather. But when it's kind of excessive, watching the Bills and San Francisco last night,
Come on,
I'm
man.
like, man, I can see what the other side of that looks like. When the
Hmm.
traction is not there. So first of all, I want to tip my hats.
Hey, real quick, this is
Go ahead.
random.
Yeah,
Random question. Should the Bills have to have a dome?
Yes.
bro.
Them, Green
Like,
Bay, all that. Stop this. I'm tired of it.
I'm
Chicago,
not
stop
so
it.
much Green Bay, because Green Bay's more like the frigid temps, right?
They have the field. Green Bay's field can handle their stuff like
Yeah, I'm
somehow.
talking about,
Yeah.
should Buffalo, like, for the sake of like the NFL, should we make Buffalo get a
Yes.
dome?
Them and like just like Minnesota did. You got to do it.
Just a
Okay,
thought.
I'm gonna chime in on it. I think it plays to their advantage, so it's
It
kind of
does.
tough if you make it like that. It's like this is where we are. This is where we started our franchise, and you come out here, you got to see us. When it's sunny, you ain't saying nothing.
But
Now
listen
when
though,
it's snowing,
Good
there's
point.
there's times, bro, they you can't play because there's like what are we doing? You know what I mean? So I understand home field advantage. I get it. I'm not
Yeah.
stupid. Just
hey
like
Matt, much respect to their fans for coming out and
yeah,
getting the job done.
Shoveling that.
They got paid to come out. They got some food.
20
They
an
got
hour.
twenty
Yeah.
bucks an hour,
but
and they
here's the
have
deal though.
shifts. It reminds me of Eagles and the Vikings a few years ago when you guys had them, but y'all had to move your game back. Like Matt,
Yeah,
y'all wasn't cleaning up. Y'all fans wasn't. Y'all say y'all love the Eagles, but y'all ain't come out there and clean up like the Bills,
Ain't
man.
cleaning
they
up,
but they
man.
but they still losing. That's the big thing. You're still losing money because you're still losing out on a bunch of fans who aren't going to go to the game, not because they
Yeah.
can't
Yeah,
get
that
there, because they don't want to sit through whatever it is that's going on.
no
And I
respect.
think like the cold is one thing, but when you combine the cold with the snow and everything else, I think that's where you start to like, hey, are we losing money because
Yeah.
people aren't coming? Anyway, that's
I
a
mean, it
completely
was.
different subject.
Right.
Hey,
Right. Right.
I agree.
But
When you
Mizzou
start
had
talking,
those
when you
kind of
start talking
elements.
about the money, then it make a lot of sense.
Yeah,
That business,
Hmm.
the NFL business model, and how they get that. I mean, they got to talk about it, right? Make sure they get
Yeah.
their paper.
Yeah.
But
But
going
Mizzou did
back,
have those elements though. Yeah.
yep, going back to Mizzou, in the defense, I think they came out and they just they really came out and were physical to me. I thought in that type of game, I got a chance to see Johnny Walker cut up, and some people, I was watching the game with one of my best friends, Corey Peters. I went up to
Hmm.
Pennsylvania for the holidays to hang out with him. They just had twins, so they just like you, Mac. They ain't gonna be getting
Yeah.
no sleep neither. And so we were able to hang out, and I'm watching the game with him because Kentucky got whooped, but Jamori had a
Went
big
off.
game, and
Yeah.
I was in the house with all Kentucky Blue fans, and everybody was they was like, man, they should have been giving Macklin the ball. I'm like,
They should
and
have. Let's just be
and
honest. They should
and
have,
they
but
are
all right.
right. They are right. But man,
Yeah.
shout out to Jamori, 3 catches for over a buck 22
Over
tugs.
126.
That boy
Yeah.
looked
Yeah.
like Mac, the real Mac.
He, yeah.
He's the new
The
Mac.
daddy Mac.
But man, I had a great time watching the game. They came out, they played physical, they were tough. They didn't get too
Hmm.
caught up in the chippiness. I knew it was
Yeah.
gonna be a little chippy. That seemed to be going around
Yeah.
college football this
Yeah.
weekend. We have to talk about that a little bit. But I was pleased with the way Coach Batum had his guys ready to play. And
Hmm.
when it comes down to it, you got a team that's fighting and you're in one of those battles, all you gotta do is get that one stop. All you gotta do is, give your offense that chance. And for Brady to
Yeah.
have that ball on his last play, I think he definitely would tip his hat to the defense for giving them that one last op. Even if they,
Hmm.
gave up a score or whatever to give them the ball, who cares? We had to go ahead and go up, and Brady did
Hmm.
it, man. And it was a complimentary day for the Tigers. I felt like all of through and through.
It definitely was, man. It was senior night. One topic I kind of wanted to hit. I think I read that Luther was able to kind of walk out.
Mm.
Mhm.
And I'm not saying as a senior, but he was able to be recognized. Uh, Almost as if he mentioned to the coaches, like, "Hey, I'm out." You know what I mean? Beforehand, I
Yeah,
know news broke, the next day or day after, that he was going to enter the draft. Man, how do you feel about letting an underclassman be able to walk out on essentially what was his last time ever playing in that field?
Yeah. I've kind of changed my tune a little bit
Okay.
after talking to you. I think like a guy like Luther, absolutely.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's where he was his whole career. I think where it gets a little gray for me is okay, you go somewhere as a freshman, all right,
Mhm.
ball out, then you transfer, and then you may transfer again, or like then for me it's like all right, but like even if you leave early, good enough to leave early, it's like all right, well you've only been here for literally a year and a half.
hmm
I think
Right.
for him it's a different 5-star recruit from in-state coming to Mizzou under Coach Drink. First, like I think that's a completely different ball game. So
I think so too.
I think that made a lot of sense, and I think it was deservingly so. He was a phenomenal player. I think he's going to be a phenomenal player at the next level.
Hmm.
So I think it was only right for him to have gotten the correct recognition from the fans.
Spoon, do you think this was the right time for him to leave?
Yeah, I think it was the right time. I
Hmm.
think it was the right move for him, his family, everything he's done for the program. I saw Drink post a thank you to him. Thank you for believing
Yeah.
in me. I knew it was deeper than just kind of what you see on the surface level there because we've always talked about Coach Drink's been there about 5 years. This is only the second winning season,
Hmm.
and these last 2 seasons is 20 wins, and a lot of that is predicated on the back of three coming to Mizzou and
Yeah.
bringing in those type of players to come in and allow him to do what he does, and also he was a contagious guy, man. It seemed like the whole group
Hmm.
just went as he went, and even when he didn't get the numbers, I never saw him pout, man. I saw him really just, go out there with a professional mindset and be out there for his guys and make the plays when his number was called. And just
Hmm.
a phenomenal recruit, even the journey of him. A lot of people said he shouldn't have went to Missouri. And I'm
Right.
glad that I remember when he decommitted one time, I think he was like, I'm gonna re-over my commitment. And I was like, oh man, that might be it, man. He's
Over
NIL
this.
and all this. Somebody gotta open
Yeah.
up their pocketbooks. And
Yeah.
the old faithful did, man. And I'm glad he's a true son, and I'll definitely always call him a true son, and I'll definitely respect his game, everything he did for the university, and 20 wins in 2 years, man. That's similar to when we were there, so I got to
Yeah.
tip my hat to this group.
Definitely, man. You kind of hit on the rivalry week. Us going against Arkansas, we got to see Ohio State, Michigan. We got to see Texas and A&M. And the common theme were these massive brawls after the game, and it all seemed to be behind like planting a flag at somebody's like in their field. I personally really like the idea of planting that flag. Like it's crazy, but I think it can be something that some tradition that has started around that. Now, how do you stop the fights? I don't know. What do you like seeing that or no?
So Funny story. One of my
Hmm.
ex teammates in Philly, Jason Avant, was the dude at Michigan, the coach that snatched the flag. He had the shiesty mask on. They were pushing him around. He
It was
got the
him.
flag. That was Jason Avant. So that's a funny story.
Wow.
But here's my deal about the flag planting.
Hmm.
If you're at home, do whatever you want to do. You win the game, big rival game, plant your flag, this, that, and the third.
Hmm.
If you're on the road and you come plant your flag in the middle of the opposing team's field and they're at home, right? If you
Hmm.
have the gonads to do that, then you better be able to accept any retaliation that they give you.
Okay.
Because here's the deal. You come to my house, right?
Hmm.
If you come to my house, right, and you're trying to do something to signal that you've now taken over my house, I have a right to defend my house,
Mhm.
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
Period.
But some people are saying you had a right to defend your house
No,
during those 4 quarters.
it don't matter. It don't
Defending
matter.
the game.
It's my house, my rules. Period.
But I'm saying, so if me and you get into a fight, you know what
Okay.
I mean, and you come to my house and you beat me up,
Okay.
right? And then you go kiss my woman. That's kind of what it's like. I should have fought you better the
Here's
first
the
time.
deal
Somebody
though.
dying
Here's
though.
the deal though. If I
Somebody
do
gotta
that,
die.
listen, if I do that,
Hmm.
then if you hopped on me, your brother, your sister, your mom, and your dad all hopped on me, I
Okay.
gotta be willing to accept that.
That's a good point. That's a
Because
good
I
point.
had the gonads to come in there and do that and then rub it in your face that I did it.
Hmm.
So yeah, you got
That's a good point.
it's
So you're
free
saying
game
keep
after
it,
that.
keep it at home.
Keep it at
Don't
home.
do it.
Yeah, yeah. We play Arkansas at the crib. We beat Arkansas up at the
Yeah.
crib. Do you y'all see us? We run to the other sideline. We do it. Like, yeah. I
Yeah.
even think that though for me, right? We've had times where like teams have run to the other sideline and like, okay,
Hmm.
let's still keep it a little respectful, right? Because you lose kind of like the dignity of the game.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
it like for me, it's like you just got to be willing to accept once you cross the line of like I'm gonna use the word disrespectful.
Mhm.
Okay.
I'm gonna use that word. Once you become a little disrespectful, then
Hmm.
what you're saying is okay. Whatever you want to give me back, I got to be willing to accept that, and I got to be willing to brawl if I got to brawl.
See
That's
what it
my
was.
opinion.
Yeah. Spoon, how you feel about it?
Last week we talked about Drink, how he was having fun with Mississippi State, and he was kind of, getting at them a little bit. I thought it was
Yeah.
funny, but
Hmm.
and I thought it was an edge, and I thought it's something that players might gravitate toward too, and they can use it as a recruiting tool. And
Hmm.
now I'm more so I'm thinking like, what are these coaches teaching these kids, man? Like, there's no way. There's no way we'd have been
Nah.
running around. Like, I had the flag after our big wins, bowl games. I don't even know if
Hmm.
we've even grabbed the flag when we beat somebody at their place.
Yeah. It
But
wasn't really a thing.
man, it's like I just feel like we got to get back to, like Max said, not losing the respect and the integrity of the game. You
Yeah.
already won the game. You got
Hmm.
the prize. So to rub it in at my place, you gonna have to deal with it,
That,
man.
that
You
and
stepping out there in front and just like that don't make no sense. But after the game, I want to get my kids to the locker room, man. Let's party on
Yeah.
the plane. That's my thing. We're gonna party on the plane, post a video. You know what I'm saying? We
Hmm.
dancing with coach and
Hmm.
all that, and rub it in that way, as opposed to right in their face because we don't want our guys getting pepper sprayed, man. No, this is
yeah.
this is wild, bro. I thought
Pepper
I,
spray is crazy.
I mean, it had like the riot feel to it. And I'm
It
like,
did. It did, and
man,
they
that's
couldn't really
that's
stop it.
that's when it goes a little left in
Hmm.
my opinion. But I'm all for the competition. I'm all for
Yeah.
letting, being humble, but letting the mother, what?
Yeah.
I'm with that. But let's just do it all in good taste, man, because you're gonna
Yeah.
see these guys again and they're gonna
Hey,
come to your house. And now what's
who-
gonna happen when they get you? You're gonna
They
be
got to
out there
do it.
defending it and you done already lost. Take your ass to the locker room. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
That's all it
who
Yeah.
is for me, man. Go re up for the next week.
so
Yeah.
the Cotton Bowl, right? Texas, Oklahoma, they
Hmm.
play it down where down the Cotton Bowl, right?
Yep, they do.
Yeah.
Here's the deal.
Neutral field.
You win that game, neutral field, go plant your flag.
Plant your flag on
Mm.
neutral
Go
field.
Bowl
plant your
Yeah.
game.
flag,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
Like,
That's a good point. That's
who
a good
plays
point.
down in Jacksonville, Florida, Georgia?
Florida and
Yep.
Georgia. Yeah.
You win that game, go plant your flag.
Plant your
Cool.
flag. Neutral field. Now
No
this is my
problem.
field
Georgia,
until
guess
next
what?
year.
If you beat up on Florida and then you want to go plant your flag in their logo in the middle
In
of
the
the field,
swamp. That's some
you
that's
gotta
some
you
pride.
gotta be willing to accept whatever they want to throw at you after that.
how much of this is on the coaches? Like I know players, we've all played with some guys who can
Hmm.
be rogue. I remember we played Kansas one year and we were like going back into the locker room pregame. I think it was like Akeem Talib was just
Yeah.
sitting out there just talking bad to everybody.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think that might have been something he wanted to do. But how much of this is like, hey, the coach needs to be the one responsible for making sure his guys are getting off the field immediately?
To me, it's like the coach sent a hit. You know what I'm saying? It's like, go plant the flag. We
Mm,
got the win. Go plant the flag. He trying to have his moment. I feel like
mm-hmm.
what the other coach did in 7 years there, win a national championship, and for what they done this season, it's kind of like a chance for him to finally say, like, at least we beat Ohio State. And I
Right, because
remember,
we didn't really have a good season.
I
Hmm.
remember being a part of those rivals. We'd be like, man, I don't care what you do, you beat them. That's a good season.
Season's
So
good. Yeah.
I think it's the coaches, man. The coach, but then again, it's just passion too. It's just kind of
Yeah, it is.
misappropriated in a sense, like misguided.
Yeah. I don't think I ever, as a player, would have thought to go plant the flag. You know what I mean? I'm not sure it would have crossed my mind.
The the thing that I worry about is this, right? At the end of the day, what are we all first and foremost, right? We're all football players,
Hmm.
right? But secondly, like we're always trying to further the game, right? We're trying to lead the game better than how we found it.
Right on.
Yeah.
Dude, some of these youth football games, right? What these teams do, right? They walk to the middle of the
Yeah.
field and they just get into shoving matches. And
Yep.
like
Hmm.
sometimes they punch it. Like I'm like,
Like, come on, what are we
They
teaching?
what are
walk through
we
your
doing?
warm ups.
Yeah,
Coaches
like
getting killed. You got all kind of stuff going
so
on in this country,
Yeah.
man,
I,
around
I
this
think
game.
I think
A
for
good point.
me, like that's the issue. Like, bro,
Yeah,
like well,
it's
like
setting a horrible example.
yeah,
I mean, fighting, it's an aggressive game by nature. So at times tempers will flare, but that's in between the lines.
Hey,
yeah,
Once the game is over,
mm-hmm.
it's time to turn it off.
yeah.
Right. Hey, Kevin, that made me think about something too, and just the age, Mac. You talking about the young kids, and I feel like we see it on social media, we see it everywhere, and we like, man, them young boys, they even got like
Boys went
acronym
crazy.
for them
Yeah.
YNs.
Yeah.
They like, hey, it's
That's
all,
crazy.
man. Anything could happen. And I just think,
Yeah.
I want my kids to play the game, and
Hmm.
man, I want to be at the game and be safe, man. I don't want to be at the game and
Good point.
Dude,
have to
Good
worry
point. Have to
about this,
worry
that, and the
about.
third. And I think that's why I'm like still around the game too, man. I like to be around the kids and kind of, teach them a certain way. I commend you, Mac, for how you do the same thing
Hmm.
with with
Hmm.
with your kids, and I'm sure Kevin, you do that with your business and your people.
Hmm.
Try to teach each one,
And do
teach
it the
one.
right way.
Let's
Yeah.
let's be better.
Hmm.
think
I like that.
I think right now, I think especially in high school, right? Like your team is still a reflection of the
Yes, it
coach.
is. Yes, it
But
is.
here's a but though. They're also a reflection of the community.
Mm,
Good point.
So,
Okay.
you know, coaches, we have a big, big influence, right?
Hmm.
A big, big influence on our kids.
mhm.
Hmm.
What people don't understand is this. At the end of the day, I still got those kids for 2.5 to 3 hours a day.
Hmm.
Okay. The 8 hours they're in that school building, I don't have them. Right. Now I'll try to make it my stance to get up there, talk to them. The problem is they go to one teacher who does things this way, they go to another teacher who does
Hmm.
things this way. And granted, you have rules within the school, but I think when you're not connected, and I think Kirkwood is connected, and that's why I can speak on this. I think that
Hmm.
we're connected, and y'all should have seen the amount of support and love that we had during this playoff run that we had. It was really second to none.
Hmm.
Um, but then like you get a miss like a disconnect there, but then the disconnect then goes to the team, and then there's another disconnect when they leave here and they go home. So
Yeah.
it's all a reflection of everything. And I don't like when you get to college, it's different, but that's
Hmm.
when the men coaches, right, who are leading that program, I think that's when that becomes right an even bigger reason
Yeah.
as to have the right person lead a program.
Right on.
Yeah. I think when we were at Mizzou, I don't think it was ever a question on what Pickle stood for. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? It
First
was it
class.
was always gonna be first class. Like I
Mhm.
from freshman on through senior, that's all I remember hearing. Like there's one way to do it, and it's you hear the same thing about Saban. And we're gonna do the little things right all the time. It's only one option.
Mhm.
So the planting of flags, a guy who would do that may not last in a program like that too long.
Nah.
You know what I mean? So, but neither here nor there. Last topic before we go. Go
Hey,
ahead. Yeah.
I'm gonna bow out. right now. My wife is calling me at the hospital. I
Do your
gotta
thing,
go.
baby.
All good.
I gotta
Hey,
run.
do your thing, man.
Yeah,
Hey, congrats, man.
hey,
Look, we'll see you next time, bro. So I want to ask you about where does Mizzou go from here? We got a bowl game coming up. Not sure what bowl game we're gonna be in. Might be a decent bowl game, 9 wins. You know what I mean? Um, if you are one of those top dog players, do you still play if you know you're going to the league in this day and age?
Man. See, I'm one of them dudes, like just one of
Yeah,
them football
yeah.
geeks, and I
Mm-hmm.
want to play. Every opportunity to play is to be
Mm-hmm.
somebody's favorite player, to make an impact that you couldn't make by sitting out, to help yourself. I went to the Senior Bowl, I went to the
Mm-hmm.
combine, I played in the bowl game, and I had a third round
Everything.
grade as a junior. So, I mean, I
So
mean,
you know
yeah,
next year it's be
I'm a
better.
little different because I feel like if you think that way, then you shouldn't
Mm-hmm.
have played last week, man. Like
That's a good point.
it's just like you signed up to come to this
Mm-hmm.
school and to give y'all, right? Wouldn't you
Mm-hmm.
want to finish it on the best note and be remembered in the
Yeah,
history of the school? I know a
yeah.
lot of people aspire to be, a legend where you go to school at. That's something that, me personally, I I have that at Missouri, and I feel
Mm-hmm.
I am very appreciative of that, and I know what was put into that. I know the people that helped me, my teammates, my
Yeah.
coaches, the training staffs, the food take, the training table, all that, man.
How
It's
can you
just
not think about that when
it's
you
so
making your
much
decision?
bigger, bro. I was like, I look at that
Yeah.
football sometimes, I be like, man, that took me around the world. Come on,
Around the
man.
world.
Met
Yeah.
these people, my best friends, my
Mm-hmm.
wife, everything, man. So you can't
Everything.
take it for
Yeah.
granted on what other moment that it could have that could help your life, help your game in a positive way.
Mm-hmm.
So I would be
Mm-hmm.
one of those guys to play. But in this day and climate, I mean, some of these guys are already millionaires. They got
Good
insurances.
point.
They got insurance
That's a good point.
plans.
Especially the guys who are leaving. Yeah, they
Yeah,
got good money.
man, these guys been getting paid in college. They got insurance plans to protect them if they're injured. So hey,
Mm-hmm.
why not go out there and put it on
Good
the
point.
line for you guys? But no disrespect if they don't. I mean, I can't
Yeah.
make them, but I would
Mm-hmm.
hope that we can get a team out there that we can field the team to where like whatever other 9, 10 win team that's not in the biggest of games,
Mm-hmm.
we can go out there and compete with them and send a message to the rest of the country that next year you're gonna have to deal with us because it's the culture,
Yeah.
not necessarily who may be in the game, but it's a certain culture. And I think that's what we're missing, man. We're missing culture because these kids are just moving around. They slide and they slide. And you can take a
Yeah.
culture to the next school. That's
Mm-hmm. Like just
or
bring it with
another
you.
or a new league or something. I mean, I don't know what these guys
Mm-hmm.
do, man, but I want to see them go out and compete because I enjoy watching college football and seeing the explosive plays, seeing the passion, and then I love the feeling I get when I watch the Missouri Tigers. Man, I'm acting like I'm out there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm throwing stuff. I'm
Same.
cussing
Same.
all that. I'm
Yeah.
pacing.
That's a good point though. You mentioned like in today's climate, things are different. It's kind of like, what have you done for me lately? I can leave. I want to leave. I'm unhappy. I can leave. I want to go to the league. I can go to the league. I can do whatever. The amount of loyalty that we had is a little bit different.
Mhm.
But an even better point I thought you just made was you got insurance. Like, and I think somebody should probably do a study on how many kids who have these first, second, third round grades are getting hurt in their bowl game. It may not, I mean, I think the game, like we said, is it's a physical game. The opportunity for injury is going to always present
Mhm.
itself. And like you said, if that's what you're thinking about, why play last week? Hell, why play this whole season?
Right on.
You can get hurt any game. You know that? Like you don't have to make it to the playoff to get hurt. You can get hurt week 3 versus I don't know,
Exactly.
Buffalo. It can
Facts.
happen.
Facts. And even watching that game last night, Buffalo and
Hmm.
49ers, I saw Christian McCaffrey go down. You just think
Yeah,
about it, man. This man got all the money in the bank account, all the accolades, and
all of it.
he's still giving it his all to be out there with his guys. This guy's battled injury throughout his career. He's also put the same amount of effort into his rehab as he put into being there
Hmm.
for his teammates and his coaches and how he goes about his business as a professional. Um,
Hmm.
this is a game of perseverance.
It
You go,
is.
you going down. We all going. We all been
It's
there.
going to happen.
We
Yeah.
all been there. They
Hmm.
talk about even Trevor Lawrence getting that hit. Boom, oh man, he tried. I'm like, hey, a pancake block and your head hit the back of the turf. Boom, you're out.
And it
I
happens.
mean, it's the same, bro. It's dangerous. It's
Yeah, the
dangerous.
game
It's
is
it's
dangerous. Yeah.
gonna happen.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, sometimes you can kind of control it. In a sense, but
Right, right,
but
right.
hey, things are moving fast. I say go out there with your head on the swivel and play like you always play,
Play
and
this
you can
game.
hang your hat on that. And if something goes down, I think it is one kid, man, good friend of mine too, Jalen Smith. play
Hmm.
for the Cowboys, man, linebacker.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
Jalen played at Notre Dame and then went out
Yeah.
to the bowl game and had. I mean, the man got drop foot from a knee
Yeah.
injury, man. Like could
Yeah.
have just folded. Still was a I think still second round, maybe late
I think
first
you went
round pick.
second. Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Got to his second deal. Just man when it's in you, it's in you. And
It's in you.
whatever God give you, hey, he gonna give you the power to get up and go through
Yeah.
all the trials and tribulations to help
Come
you
on,
be
man.
better and to help you not take things for granted, man. Because you
Yeah.
go out
Yeah.
there and
Yeah.
say you don't play in this game, you go to the league, first game, hurt your neck or something, man. You done for the rest of
Hmm.
you know what I'm saying? Like I mean, you just gotta put it into
Yeah.
perspective. It's a blessing. It's a privilege. It's not a right to play this game. So hey, enjoy it while you can, baby. Because I'm at the house now. You know what I'm saying? I
For
know how I
real.
feel.
Yeah. I don't think there could have been a better way for somebody to describe like that sentiment.
Hmm.
Like, I think you hit every point because it's so true. Like, dude, there are guys who have gotten hurt, still going on to have successful careers in the NFL, and play the game the right way. How do you want to be remembered? You talked about what the university has done for you.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? And I think those are some things that we are starting to lose, unfortunately, at the college level. You know what I mean? I'm not sure if it's the money. I'm not sure if it's the transfer portal. Which one it is that is attributed to the lack of,
It's the times. It's the
or just
times.
could just be the
It's
times. You
the
know what I mean?
times, man. Woo boy.
But
Getting
like
deep.
you play this game. You play this game for X amount of years, and you get to college ball, man. I don't imagine sitting out. But also, what something you and I had to have while we were playing in Mizzou was I get to play for you, like, and vice versa. You that's my doc. I can
Yeah.
imagine. Like, yeah, it's cool. I don't know, bro. I'm sitting out
Yeah.
on you. You got to tell your best friend that? Nah, I
It's
couldn't. I don't think
and
I could say that.
and the ones that have, been in them trenches.
Hmm.
Like I watch Prime. A lot of people don't like Prime. They say
I
it's
like
a
Prime.
show. They said, man, I bet you he can connect with them guys because they know
Oh yeah,
he been in those trenches and he is not gonna go back on his principles, his values,
no,
and you either have to get with it or what do he say? You gonna pack your
you got to
luggage?
go.
And bro, that's how it was at Missouri. That's how Jasper was. Like it was
Hmm.
football was sacred. I grew up in Texas. Like
Yeah.
this is man, this is it's a beautiful thing, man. It can help a lot of
Hmm.
people because it teaches you about life and teamwork and working with other people and persevering. I mean,
Hmm.
you always got an
That's all this
underdog.
game is.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
the game of life, man. And I know the other games like that too. I just don't have that reverence with those
Same.
games because I didn't play those games all my life. But
Same.
man,
Same. Same.
sports is just a beautiful thing, man. So I advise these
Hmm.
kids not to take it for granted, enjoy the
Yeah.
opportunities they have and always think about the ones that came before you to put you in these situations, because it's a blessing, man.
Hmm.
God has really, looked out for football, man. Football is it's a great tool. It's a great tool, man.
Yeah. Awesome too. I think lastly from a zoo going out and playing this game from a coaching standpoint and looking for ways to motivate your team. J Mac was saying it, I think on a couple episodes ago, you still have an opportunity to get 10 wins. And that always looks good. Good teams get 10 wins.
Yeah.
You find a way. And that's what we have a chance to do this year. No matter what the bowl game is, if we if a team shows up, we have a chance to go out there and get a win.
Man,
Right?
and we gotta be proud of ourselves too as Tigers, man, because
Please.
we beat 5 teams as bowl eligible. And
That is saying something.
people say I scared of the week. I mean,
No.
whatever you say, man. It's 134
Hmm.
teams, man, that's in, out there in college football. And not all of them are going to a bowl game. And we played 5 of
No.
them, persevered, beat them, and now we're in the position to where, people looking at it like, man, I mean, they might not want to say it, but you gotta respect that Missouri's a good football team.
You have a
Never
chance.
was a time where we really just had it all figured out. I gotta tip my
It
hat to
didn't.
the coaches for figuring out a way how to win without having it
Hmm.
hitting on all cylinders. Like if you're gonna run it
Yeah.
50 times against the Mississippi State on the road in a close game,
So be it.
I mean, you just got to do it like that. And I was
Yeah.
real. I remember we talked about. You was like, man, what the halfback throwback annexation of Puerto Rico. Drink kept it a buck. He's like, you know what? I know this team. I know what gives us
Hmm.
a best chance,
Hmm.
our best chance to win. And besides those 2 games, I mean, bro,
We
heck of a
play
year.
great football. Heck of a
Heck of
year.
a
Heck
year,
of a year,
bro.
man. Heck of a year. All right, man. So hopefully we get to see y'all next week or sometimes throughout this college playoff, man. We want to keep reconnecting, man, and covering the college football playoff. and definitely cover Mizzou into that bowl game, man.
Most definitely.
Looking forward to it.
I
Looking
think
forward to it.
I think like tonight to talk about man, it's too much that's gonna be happening this weekend. After this
It's a
weekend,
lot more.
then we'll
Yeah.
know something more about our bowl game stat. We'll have a lot more to talk
Hmm.
about the college football playoff landscape and our bowl
Yep.
perspectives as well. So I think it'll just get even better, man. We'll have Mac back, and
Yeah. Yeah.
he might bring Baby Knox on for
Bring his
a
son
little
out, man.
cameo, man.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, have a good one, man. We'll do it again next week.
Most definitely, K. Rut. Appreciate you, brother.
Yep.